Welcome back. 33 alcohol free, doing an experiment. Bookshelf's not there again. I'm on holidays on the Gold Coast. Yes, I would be normally drinking on holidays. And if I looked at my schedule and worked out how many days it was, I thought I'd be finished this before my alcohol. Finish this before my I can't speak. Finish this before my holiday started, but no, I got a few days of alcohol free at the beginning of my holidays. I feel like a drink, telling you, but hey, I'm here for a few nights, and I will continue the alcohol free. I'm feeling tired tonight again. Like I was saying last video, I slept a lot. Is my body readjusting without alcohol? I don't know. Or is it just that I'm needing a holiday and needing a good sleep? Hopefully I sleep well. I saw that there's some construction happening across the road. Hopefully they don't start too early. And I think my unit is away from that anyway, so sleeping in, I hope. So, how are you going? I didn't get a drink today. That's a bit weird. Normally I'd have a drink. Cheers. What are you drinking? I'm drinking nothing. Tell me what you're drinking. Are you drinking nothing? Or you've got a alcoholic beverage and joining me, watching me not drinking as you are drinking a beer? I'll get onto it. I'm wanting to get this finished so I can have an early night. So, is alcohol really poisonous and addictive? I think we've learnt that it is. So we'll probably reconfirm some of those ideas as we read along. And we've got Norman Vincent Peale again. He turned up in a couple of chapters earlier, didn't he? So how do you think about a problem is more important than the problem itself? How you think about a problem. All right. It's more important than the problem itself is how we think about it. Thanks, Norman. Wow. You are nearly there. We're nearly there. I'm proud of you. If you're joining this journey with me, you're doing awesome. We're nearly there. I hope you are proud of yourself. I'm pretty proud that I've managed to do this. It's been good for me to reflect on my relationship with alcohol. So Annie says in the alcohol experiment book, today I want to conduct a bit of a review and summarize a lot of what I've said about the nature of alcohol and how your body neurologically and physically reacts to it. Like I said, I think we're going to be reconfirming some things that we already know or learnt. It's interesting that our culture has completely obscured the fact that alcohol is poison to our bodies. Not only that, but it's an addictive poison. A poison and addictive as well. Before you decide whether you believe those two statements, please take a minute to read the facts. Take off the blinders. Oh, I need them to read. And please take a minute to read the facts. Yes. Whatever you feel about alcohol to be, let's look at the actual chemical composition of this controversial liquid. Liquid of the gods. Maybe not. It could be liquid of Satan. Before we discuss alcohol as an addictive substance, let's talk about what addiction actually is. What is addiction? It's nothing more than an up and down cycle. You consume something like sugar, drugs, alcohol, doesn't matter, and you feel better temporarily. Then the feeling goes away. You want that feeling back. Quick, give me back that feeling. So you consume the same substance again, but this time it doesn't feel quite as good as your subconscious mind remembers. It was better than this. So you need a little bit more. I need more of that to get what I got last time. Then the effects wear off and you consume it again. It's literally a high and low cycle that keeps you coming back to whatever substance you subconsciously believe makes you feel better. So I subconsciously believe alcohol makes me feel better. Do you have that belief? A closer look at the cycle. Now let's review how that happens with alcohol. Okay, please understand though, these are the chemical facts about how alcohol works in your brains and body. This isn't Annie's opinion, this is fact. There are 4 types of alcohol. There's methyl, propyl, butyl, and ethanol. If you consume even tiny amounts of the first 3 types, you'll either go blind or die. They're extremely toxic. Ethanol is the only type of alcohol humans can consume without dying. Wow. However, it is still so toxic that it will take even just a sip or 2 of pure ethanol. You will instantly vomit that poison out of your body. Ooh. Ethanol is a general anesthetic. If you inject 2 or 3 milliliters of ethanol per kilogram per body weight, you'll anesthetize the human body. That means you'll go completely unconscious. Ethanol was used as a general anesthetic in Mexico, London, and Germany in 1929 to 31, so the early 1930s, but was abandoned because of its toxicity. When we drink, we're consuming pure ethanol in tiny amounts. A strong beer is about 6% alcohol per volume. Wine is generally 12 to 16% alcohol per volume. Even hard liquor is only 40% alcohol, and people usually add mixers, so that dilutes that alcohol. Or you have a shot and you get the 40%. You're masking the poison of ethanol with a lot of other stuff that makes the drinking taste better, but the anesthetic effects remain. So we're anesthetic, we're numbing our body, are we? Anesthetic and depressant. In addition to being an anesthetic, alcohol is a depressant. It depresses your feelings and your nervous system. Depending on how much pure alcohol you consume, you might pass out completely or just feel nicely numb for a while. Feeling numb, is that the feeling that we are going for? But our brains react to stimuli, and they are designed to maintain balance and homeostasis. That means if you consume something that is anesthetic and a depressant, it's automatically going to try and counteract those things with stimulants like cortisol and adrenaline. These stimulants leave you feeling anxious and uneasy. So you reach for the next drink to take away the uneasy feeling, and your brain fights back with even more of its own chemical stimulants, and the cycle starts. So we're taking a depressant anesthetic, and then our body is trying to counteract it with stimulants. Interesting. Let's say you had a hard day at work and you just want a drink. Happy hour it is. Yeah, let's go to happy hour. You head to your favorite watering hole and have a drink. Within a short time, everything slows down. The alcohol's natural depressants dull your senses, and you subconsciously interpret that as a relaxant, as relaxation. So natural depressants dull our senses. So our senses are being dulled, and we think that's relaxing. Well, it would be feeling relaxing, but is it really? Yes, you do feel better, but only for like 20 or 30 minutes. Then it's time for your brain to kick into action and regain balance. So there are depressants in your system, so your brain releases more stimulants to bring you back. The problem is those stimulants make you even more uneasy and anxious than you were to start with. Well, one drink was good, so two must be better, right? So we're trying to counteract what our body is doing to try and keep us alive. You have another drink in an effort to counteract the chemicals your brain releases in an effort to counteract that alcohol. Confused? I am. So is your body confused? I think so. It releases more stimulating stress hormones to battle that second drink. Back and forth, depressants, stimulants, more depressants, then, more stimulants. The cycle continues and continues on until you pass out from the sheer amount of poisonous ethanol in your system. And thank goodness, because blacking out gives your body a chance to metabolize the poison and detoxifies your blood as best as it can. It puts you unconscious so it can keep you alive, maybe. The downward cycle. Here's the interesting part though. Every time you take another drink to counteract these stress hormones your body is releasing, you return to a level that's below where you were just 30 minutes earlier. Imagine that feel good scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the most amazing. Then imagine your head into, when we head into happy hour at about a 6, it's been a hard day, but you go through it and you have a drink, you will get to a 9 or a 10. After your brain counteracts that first drink, the second one might bounce you back up to only a 7 or an 8. Then your brain will bring you back down, but then you try to bounce back again, but this time you will only get to a 5, which is actually lower than you started off at the night. You started off at a 6, went to a 9, 7, 8, 6. If we started 5, but if we started at 6. So staying with the 6 without the bump up is a better happy than what is drinking, she is saying. Chemically, we're fighting a losing battle, or maybe it's actually a winning battle, because your brain will do everything in its power to keep you from actually dying. So why don't we recognize alcohol as an addictive substance like cocaine or heroin? Why is it not put in the same league? It's the same high-low cycle in our bodies. So, what's the deal? I think it has to do with time. Drugs like heroin metabolize quickly, especially they are injected directly into the bloodstream. It doesn't take long for numbing and that high to take effect. And it's easier to see that next hit needs to be more powerful than the last to get you at the same high. But alcohol is different. It enters the bloodstream more slowly. We only notice that the drink makes us feel better because that's what happens first. We don't notice the slow decline as stimulants, hormones are being released and starting to take its effect. We pay attention only to the climb, not the fall. So our subconscious minds learn that alcohol lessens the anxiety and stress. We believe that alcohol makes us feel better, but an addiction cycle is actually taking place because we find ourselves on this roller coaster ride until you look at the entire cycle consciously. It's different to see what's happening on a chemical level. It's difficult to see what's happening on the chemical level because it's slowly happening rather than that quick hit, I guess. Alcohol is addictive because you wind up worse off after each drink, and you mistakenly believe that another drink will bring you back up. It's the problem and the solution at the same time. It's the chicken and the egg. Who came first? It's a cycle, and you can break it if you choose. What happens when you allow the cycle to continue? You build up tolerance to the poison. So tolerance is your body's way of protecting yourself any way it can. Your body is smart. It's trying to protect us. That's why you end up having to drink more. It learns and it prepares to fight the battle ahead. So before you even have a drink, it's making you more tolerant to it, trying to get us to stop. If you normally drink 4 glasses of wine a night, your body has learned that, and your brain measures out the necessity counter chemicals for a normal night of drinking. It knows what's going to come. So if you decide you're going to just have one, your body has already unleashed the countermeasures for much more than that. It's like, oh, here he goes. We know we're going to need a lot, a lot, which means you don't get the same effect from 1 glass. You need more to get the same numbing effect. It takes 4 or 5 glasses before you even feel it. Because guess what? Your body has anticipated those 4 glasses. Even if you've decided only to have one, your body's thinking is going to get the 4 and gave you exactly what you needed to stay in hematosis. It's like, give him a whole bunch of downers. It's outsmarted you, the silly body. And over time, you're going to need more and more and more and more alcohol to reach that same levels you used to get with just the 1 glass. The dangerous part there, of course, is that the poison builds up. And once you get to a certain percentage of alcohol in your body, the anesthetic kicks in and you pass out. Or you die. This is great news. Detoxing from alcohol is even more toxic. Oh, so I'm going through a detox now. Maybe that's why I'm feeling so tired. Here's the kicker. In order for your body to process and get rid of the alcohol, it has to create a chemical acetaldehyde. The amount of acetaldehyde that is released into your body from just 1 unit of alcohol would never be allowed in food because it would be deemed too toxic. Acetaldehyde is actually more toxic than the alcohol itself. So the body creates that to try and get rid of the poison. So we drink, we build tolerance, so we get the same feeling of relief from everyday stress. We need to drink more. We produce higher and higher levels of this acetaldehyde. It's a big word, isn't it? Acetaldehyde to process the alcohol, and we don't even realize how much poison is circulating in our bodies at any given time. Phew. So how much is too much? How much alcohol is too much? At what point can our body no longer keep up with this chemical craziness? Think about it for a minute. How much is too much? Hangovers, self-loathing, and regret are all unfortunate side effects of too much alcohol. But the chemical reality of drinking is downright terrifying. Once we consciously realize that we're actually putting into our bodies, what we're actually putting in our bodies, ethanol, and that natural thing, our body, the acetaldehyde. I think I got it right that time. We can't go back to blissful ignorance. Now, you know what happens and why alcohol is addictive. You can't unknow it. By bringing this information into our conscious minds, we can finally see the benefit we think we're getting from alcohol is actually relieving a symptom that alcohol caused to begin with. So if we're drinking regularly, our body is producing these chemicals beforehand, or with the first sip. It's like, oh, here we go. I'm going to need to start creating these depressants. So we're counteracting this thing that alcohol caused in the first place. Crazy. So, okay, today, let's take a few moments and write a thank you note to your body. Thanks, body, for keeping me alive. Thank it for taking such good care of you so far. Tell it you understand now. You get it. You know that alcohol is actually a poisonous chemical called ethanol. And you finally get that your body has produced even more poisonous substances, acetaldehyde, to process and get rid of the ethanol. So we're putting in the poisonous ethanol, and our body needs to create a poison, acetaldehyde, to get rid of the poison. Double poison action in our body. Explain your current understanding of the addiction cycle to your body. Wow, so our body will release a poison to try and counteract the poison that it thinks we're going to drink. Even if we're going to have one, it thinks we're going to have three. So it's like, quick, give him heaps of poison to counteract the poison. How much poison's going on? Now that you consciously understand what's happening, you get to make a conscious decision about your drinking habits. Well, I'm glad I didn't go get some alcohol tonight after reading this. It's good I'm doing this every night because I keep thinking, oh yeah, I'll just have another drink. I'll have a drink. Can't wait till this book finishes. But I'm learning, creating new truths in my head. Next time I have a drink, I'll have sips and I'll be like trying to feel, well, okay, is that antidepressant coming in? He's counteracting the alcohol already. Reflections, here we go. Mike, my biggest lesson so far is this: alcohol is an addictive poison, period. Whether I just have one drink or 10, any amount of alcohol is a poison to my body. Learning this fact has been life-changing for me. I used to believe that since I was a moderate drinker, I was not harming my body by drinking a glass or two of wine daily. I now know the truth. I see alcohol for what it is: poison. Thanks, Mike, for drilling in the fact. Georgia, wow, I am amazed at how far I've come. Looking at everything I thought was a problem on day 5 and how those things have been resolved or in the process are being resolved is so empowering and inspiring. Good. I'm moving on and moving forward, and if I stick to it, I will be successful. There is hope. There is always hope. Georgia, hope. Like Georgia says, we're getting through, and there is always hope. Even if you stumble, there will be times when we have to stumble and come back and decide to go, all right, let's go. It's a cycle that we're breaking. Be kind to yourself. Natasha says, woke up this morning and felt so good laying there. Yes. I looked back on how miserable I used to feel when the alarm went off every day and wondered how I was going to get through the day. Now I feel well rested and ready to start my day. This program is amazing. I'm a little disappointed that it is ending soon. Oh, off to the gym. Here's to an alcohol-free day. Thanks, Natasha. And thanks, Natasha, for reminding me that I haven't gone to the gym at all. And I didn't meditate today either. Oh, I was traveling today. I left my house at 10. I didn't get to the Gold Coast till like 4 p.m. There was a lot of trains, planes, buses, and a tram. I was using public transport. I could have jumped in a taxi, but I saved that money. Could have been drinking money I was saving. No, it wasn't. I'm just trying to be a bit frugal, trying to be better with my money. One of the reasons why I'm wanting to cut out alcohol is the fact that it's not a good investment. I could buy a bottle of vodka or rum or whiskey, and I could go through the whole thing. And I'd try and get the better quality ones, so they're usually about $50 or $60 Australian dollars. And I'd go through it in the whole night. So that's an expensive night out. So I was drinking at home because I can't afford to drink that much alcohol in a nightclub or a pub or out about, because it would be $10 a drink. And I was getting, 30 or 40 drinks for $60. Yes. Well, it's a stupid thing to spend money on. I'm wanting to sort my finance out, and so I'm rambling. As always, thanks for joining me. That was today. And tomorrow we're going to go on to the truth about moderation. Thanks for joining me. Trains. Today, like I said, I caught a train, caught a plane, caught a bus, and caught a tram to get to where I was needing to go. So down the bottom, put an emoji of one of those. Put your favorite way of commuting. A tram, a plane, a car, an Uber. What do you use to get around? Put an emoji down the bottom. So put a scooter. What's your mode of transport? Put some sort of transport thing down there. The fancy people can put a helicopter. If you're fancy, helicopter emoji, helicopter, or jet boat. How do you get around? What are you doing here? Find an emoji, put it down the bottom so I know that you are part of the elite. You've gotten to the end of the video, and I will see you tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to get into moderation. We're going to talk about the truth about moderation. And I have a feeling, because I'm thinking at the moment, yeah, I could do moderation. I have a feeling the chapter tomorrow is going to put a nail in the coffin of moderation. It's changed some of my thinking again, which is good. This is sort of a fun, unfun ride all at the same time. Learning new things, changing my dissonance, as we've talked about in the first few chapters. So, thanks for joining me again. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget about the emoji. Transportation. What's your favorite? Put it at the bottom, and I'll see you tomorrow. I am still doing the weekly, daily, Stoic Daily. As I'm doing this, I'm still doing this. I'm doing 2 videos a day. Go me. That's a new challenge. I'm doing well. I still haven't gone to the gym. I'm trying to pick up my meditation first, and I'm going to add the gym to the meditation. I think meditation's better for me at the moment. Go us. You're doing good. See you tomorrow.